All righty. Bring it in. Bring it in.
Yeah, baby.
Well, that, folks, was it's just a typical Florida State game. So no one should be surprised there. But before we get started, before we dive deep into it, once again, this is Seminoles Sideline 365. I haven't even drank anything tonight. Seminoles Sideline 365. We are giving you a live post-game reaction. The game just wrapped up, 5 or 10 minutes ago. Hell of a night. A lot of things, we can discuss. Like you said, this can be a raw analysis. We're not going to try to dive deep into plays and stuff like that. We just want to give our instant reactions to this. And thankfully, it's a reaction on a win because this would be a lot more depressing. It's depressing as it is, but it would be a lot more depressing if we had to come off a loss. So, Bruce, let me turn it over to you. What is the initial thought that comes to your mind having turned on the camera and talk? This is the first time we've spoken tonight.
My initial thought.
Yeah, I don't turn on my phone. Yeah. I try not to text during the game.
No, we don't talk during the game. We don't text during the game. We don't get into the studio here and set up a bunch of stuff. We don't do that.
I just can't. I don't want to talk to anybody during the stupid games because it just triggers me. So I don't want to get on Twitter. I don't want to do. I did send out some tweets like when at halftime I was just triggered, but I typically
send tweets out.
I typically try not to text, tweet, whatever. It's basically I'm dead to the world. But yeah, what are your initial thoughts? Just coming in here, talking for the first time. What's going on?
My initial shot and my initial shout out on this is, first of all, I gotta have a little toast here. I gotta have a little shot of frickin' Patron here. But you got one? You got one, KB?
Not a shot, but I can take a sip.
What do you got? Okay, here we go. Shout out to the Noles to pull out a game that looked like LSU game all over again. Here we go. We go.
Cheers to them.
Emptied out, brother. Emptied out.
Cheers.
That's my first thought tonight.
Yes.
KB. I mean, I've got a lot of thoughts. Now, they're not all going to carry in tonight, but they're going to carry over into our show next week. Yeah. Now, I did do some tweeting. I agree with you. I don't want to do a lot of tweeting. I got caught up into it a little bit.
Then you missed the game, and then you're trying to get.
Yeah, you do. I didn't do a lot. Some guys are tweeting a lot on there. Some of the social media sites are tweeting a lot. I'm not going to call every play of the game. I figure people have a radio or they have a TV set or some shit, that they can watch the damn game. Yeah. So I'm not going to do that. But there's certain things that hit me, and I pushed our show out there a little bit. Hope to remind people we grind, man. We're grinders trying to grind out one subscriber at a time. But my first thought is we won the damn game. Okay, we won the damn game.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
That's number one.
That is the big number one. Yeah.
You find a way to win the football game. Okay. It's like a street fight. Every game, we've said it this season, every game is going to be a street fight. And if this game with Louisville, who was very beatable. But
we knew they were good. We knew they were a good team.
Nah, they're not good.
Offensively, they were strong.
They're an
Malik
average.
Cunningham is a very, very talented quarterback.
Did I say he wasn't? All I said is they are an average football team. They're going to probably win. They're a 500 football team. And for us to say, which players have been saying and fans have been jumping on, that we're back, we have to handle teams like this. Yeah. This reminded me a little bit of the LSU game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where all of a sudden, and Malik Cunningham is more dangerous than Jay Daniels for LSU.
Different players, but.
Yeah, they're different players. But Malik Cunningham could have broken a run. That's what I was waiting for. And he pushes it into the end zone, and then we lose the game.
That final drive, I thought that's definitely what was going to happen.
We missed. We could go back to the final sequence of plays. Okay, if you want to.
No, I don't want to dive that deep into it. I just
okay. The bottom line is we're driving down for a field goal. No, I'm sorry. We're driving down for what I thought was a touchdown drive. We're going down.
Under 4 minutes, you have the ball.
Yeah, I've got.
You stop on fourth down. You stop on fourth down to get the ball back, and it's under 4 minutes.
But wait a minute. I'm saying when we had the ball is in our thing. It's first down. So what do? Run. First down. We run. Second down. We run.
Yeah.
And then it's a third down. They know what they think is coming.
Yeah, that was
we run again, which shows me that Coach Norvell doesn't have full confidence in his young quarterback. Well, everybody out there listening to us is going to yell, "Well, he's a young guy."
It was a P play call. It was a puss play call. That's essentially what it was.
Yeah,
it was.
I think
like you said, he was afraid. He was afraid of a turnover. He was afraid, and you could say, well, it's clock management. You got to keep the clock running, make them force them to use their timeouts.
And
I get that. Okay, force them to use their timeouts, but I think you get that first down, you win the game. So you're either going to. I don't want to get the ball back into the most dynamic quarterback on the field's hand, the most dynamic player on the field's hands. I don't want to give Malik
one in the country.
Yeah. If you give Malik a minute, he can still score, and that's where I was like. If you're playing time management versus icing the game now, give the ball to Johnny Wilson. No one on the field could cover him.
Just a slant. Tate loves to throw a slant.
They couldn't cover him so much.
A 10-yard slant to Johnny Wilson.
Bradley was tackling him. He couldn't cover him.
No.
Like that's the thing. You could have thrown a slant to him. You could have thrown it a straight vertical to him. They could not cover the guy. They were tackling him in midfield because they couldn't cover him. So and I agree with you. That was the I hate saying puss, but it was a weak play call where, like you said,
it was conservative. Let's call it. You call
super conservative, overly conservative.
Yeah, it's a conservative play. He was playing for the field goal at that point.
Which
on the third down run, he ran it into the middle of the field, and it was for the field goal that gets missed.
I told you he's not good. I told you earlier this week. I don't trust him. He proves me once in the first quarter, 37 yards, misses it again in the fourth quarter. The guy, and that was the other reason I didn't have trust in you going for it, because you're like, oh, we get a field goal, we're up 7. The guy had missed one before.
But what did it matter? If we're up 7, they still had to score a touchdown, even when we didn't have that. They had to score a touchdown to beat us. If we'd have got the field goal, it would have tied, and then we have to go into overtime. Probably.
Which you didn't want to do.
Which we didn't want to do. So if we get the first down, we can kill almost all the clock. Yeah. But if we go and try to run this ball into the end zone, we win the damn game right there.
And in my opinion, on that third down play, you did not give the best player on your team the ability to convert, right? Or in that third down play, you didn't give him the ability. You gave it to like Trayshawn on that play. No, Toafili. You gave it to Toafili. But like you said, it was on a very predictable run. So you didn't give him a chance to succeed there. But the best player on the field at that point in time was Johnny. Give him a chance to make the play. Just give him a chance to make the play.
At 6'7" is a basketball player. He goes down 10 yards. It was 3rd and 8. He goes down 10 yards, clear it out for him, and let him turn around and let them try to make a play one-on-one. They had 8 or 9 guys in the box.
Yeah. So he's either going to catch the ball or it's going to be a penalty. They were
playing for the run. They got the run stop. Field goal is missed.
Yeah.
That could have turned the game.
I thought it was. I definitely thought we were going to lose the game after we didn't convert that. I just thought we were too conservative. You don't want to give Cunningham the ball again, and I thought you were going to lose.
Win or lose. Now, there may be viewers out there saying, well, you guys are being negative. It's not negative. It's realistic. What if we lose the game? Then you're on our side. This is just reality. Okay? Yeah. That's reality. I didn't like that. I didn't like that. Go ahead. And then when we give the ball back, they started at their own 20. They started at their 20. They get a couple 3 first downs, and then it's 4th and 3 to go, and they get it. 4th and 3 to go. Remember, the guy gets it. He gets over the line. Now they're set up in pretty good shape, midfield. Something like that. I don't have that exactly now. They were pretty damn close.
They were on their own 46.
Okay, well that's pretty much close to midfield. And then he throws a pass. It gets barely picked off. Great
It
play
was a
by
great play by
Kevin
Kevin
Knowles.
Knowles. Great
By
play.
Kevin Knowles. He puts the feet down.
2 feet.
That's
You got
a
the 2
pro
feet too.
play.
Yeah, that was a great
That's
play.
a pro play.
And the thing there, Jarrett Jackson, he hit the ball or the hand on that. You know, that was a great play. Yeah, no, he got pressure on Cunningham, and I think he got his hand at least, which affected the play, which was a great play by him.
And then Shaquem Brown made another.
Shaquem Brown made a great play.
Shaquem Brown makes another great play on the sideline,
which you love to see. Yeah.
Two great plays in victories. That really, as we say this season, there will be some plays here or there that change the complexion of the season and the game. But here is the downside. We win the game.
Well,
Congratulations.
I want to go back to that drive since we're on it right now before we go off of it.
Okay.
On that drive, I thought I'm
going to have another Patron.
Okay. On that drive, I thought, like you said, I was not confident, as confident when they got the ball back. I just thought we couldn't stop Malik. The thing with Malik tonight versus it feels like every other night versus like when they play UCF, he got hot in the second quarter, but against their it seemed like he hit every pass tonight in the first third quarters. He didn't miss here or there he did, but he was very, very consistent with his passing tonight. And that's the thing. But then that last drive, he missed a couple passes, and the last throw, that was the one we finally got. We got to him. We got pressure on him as he was throwing, forced the turnover. But that every other drive before that, he was able to make these tough throws, hit the open man. But in that last drive or two, he missed it, back, threw it behind the guy that one time that we broke up. And then that interception at the end, and we finally were able to force him to be a passer. And we saw him not being, he's a great athlete, and I think he'll play at the next level, but I don't think he's the best passer. He was finally had to show those in the clutch moments. We got to him, so I was happy to see that. We got some comments in here. Tate Aikman. We'll get into Tate Aikman here in a second, but
Tate Aikman. I'll let you explain now, and I can't explain that. That's one of our regular fans there.
Okay, so I'll let you go back. But I think that was the biggest difference is that Cunningham finally looked like Cunningham.
I'm wondering because there were a lot of NFL scouts in the stands tonight.
It was a great game.
It was reported there were a lot of NFL scouts,
and
I think you got to believe that somebody was in Malik's ear. I'm not saying it was the coach. The coach was saying, Malik, be Malik. I think Malik said, I've got to put some balls downfield tonight.
He did.
But he didn't hit any real big bombs. He didn't really air it out. Now, I couldn't tell if we were playing. I think a lot of times we had a couple deep, which makes it difficult. But he was able to effectively move the ball, passing it. Yeah. He had one big run, a couple runs.
Yeah, he had a number of big
But
runs.
I don't think his legs were as big a factor. His passing.
Yes, they were.
Yeah, his passing.
130 yards running.
Right. His passing was really good. How many yards passing did he have? I don't have my stats.
250 yards.
He had 250 yards. Yeah. So he was deliberately trying to throw the ball down the road. They had more total yards than we did, didn't they?
I believe. I got the stats pull up here. No, I thought he looked great. Like I said, for the first 3 quarters and a half, and then he finally kind of came down to earth a bit.
They had 494 yards, 243 in pass, 251 on the ground. Would you have expected them, besides him, to get 251?
Our run defense was atrocious, and I know Fabian was out tonight.
But one guy can't change your entire defense. Fabian is a good player, but he's not an All-American.
That will be the excuse tonight. That Fabian was out. He's the man in the middle. But they were able to bulldoze their way and break off 5, 6, 7 yards runs after a row. And that's what made, I think, Malik comfortable is that, okay, I can hand off the ball. We can get 7 yards consistently. Like, we were not able to stop the run tonight. And I think that was the most
scary.
It was scary and surprising because we thought we would be able to shut that down and force him to have to throw the ball and use his legs. But they were chunking off rushing yards, like you said, at will, it seemed like,
Well, that's pretty scary moving forward. Yeah. That's scary moving forward when their offensive line was beat up. Okay. And then people say, well, ours was too. I don't like a lot of excuses. No. Your football team has to have sufficient replacements to fill in because guys get hurt. And this wasn't a good night. We'll talk about injuries in a little bit. But I agree with you, KB. They put up, he had 130 yards rushing the quarterback. We expected he'd get 100 yards.
He had some fantastic runs.
Okay, but they also had another 125, 130 yards by other backs against
them.
Their
third string running back.
And they were running up the gut. Even the announcer said that.
They were
running. They're running between the guards.
Yes, exactly. And I was surprised. I was like,
that falls to Coop. That falls to who else was in there? Who started?
I thought McClendon played.
Briggs was in there a little bit.
Briggs was in there, but on the inside. Yeah. They got to get better. They have to get better, like you said. Like you said, I think that something went wrong there. Like you said, Fabian Lovett missing can't be the only thing. I thought we had backup talent on the line, and then we had some more injuries on the line as the game went on.
We'll talk about the injuries in a minute.
They're running.
It was disappointing.
It was disappointing, and it allowed them to do a lot more on offense, I think.
Well, it's disappointing when we come out of the LSU game and everybody's yelling, "We're back." Now, I'm just saying you can't make statements like that. That's an emotional statement, but everybody jumped on that bandwagon. Okay, so let's move from there to the next biggest story out of this game, and that is the injuries.
Yeah, a lot.
That is the injuries. And let me speak to the one that has been the fear I've talked about on this program since day one, since spring. I have. I mean, people can go back and look at the tape.
Yeah,
and it was all about
QB preview show. Go back to our QB preview show.
Go back to the preview show. It was my fear of this nightmare, which we knew was coming. I was more verbal about it than a lot of media was. And nobody would ask the coach, no one would ask him, how confident are you if Travis goes down? No one asked the direct question. Don't, how's Tate progressing? Don't be how should I say this? I don't want the tequila to be doing.
No, yeah, don't.
How should the media say how confident? But now we found out in a way that Tate had to go into the game. I would suspect that Travis is not going to be back against Boston College.
I don't think.
Why would you? You can't put him into this game because you've got bigger games coming with Wake Forest, Clemson on the horizon.
Yeah.
So Tate has to take next week's game against Boston College, who is a not good-looking football team. They look worse, one of the worst teams in the ACC right now. We get them at home. So Tate, I put out a tweet tonight when Tate went into the game. This is his opportunity and his only opportunity to win this football team over to him in some way. And I think Tate went in, he performed up to an acceptable level and does get big points for credit for winning this football game. All right? I wouldn't be surprised if they hand him the hammer to break the concrete tonight, to break the pad tonight. I would not be surprised because without that performance tonight, we don't win the game. We don't win the game.
And like I said, as I said on Twitter, I was after he came in and immediately threw that interception, which I think it was an awful play call. First of all, like, why are you forcing this kid to throw on 3rd and 20 or something when he first came in here? But he throws the pick right before half. I'm like, here we go again. And I was like, this may not go well. I kind of was just like, this probably isn't going to end up well, just because I feel like we've seen this before. We lose Travis, whether it be Mackenzie Milton or, Tate comes in, throws a pick. It just kind of, the offense falls apart. I thought, I sent a tweet out and I said, this, like you just said, Norvell's backup plan, he didn't have a backup plan. He was trusting Tate, who's untested, doesn't have game experience, to come in and save, potentially save a season if Jordan Travis goes down, who's the most dynamic player on the team. And this is his plan. So if it falls on Tate, and he throws a pick, and I'm like, okay, here we go. But Tate proved me wrong. He proved me wrong. I think he proved a lot of people wrong. And what we say on Twitter and stuff like that is that it's no hate against the kid. People are like, "Oh, you hate it."
No, I know. There's no hate against anybody.
It's no hate against everybody. It's just
so
us
get off
fans.
that. People should get off that crap. You know,
we're not
look at it more analytical.
Exactly. We're looking at it the analytical way. We're like, who's going to give us the best chance to win? We're not saying, go somewhere else, but it's just who's going to give us the best chance to win. And obviously, it's Jordan Travis. So we don't want to see him go out in any case. But I think we always thought, could Mike have gotten someone with more game experience to be his backup if this is the make or break year for you as a coach, right? And when Tate came in, I wasn't sure. And then it clicked. I don't know. You know why it clicked for him? Because we finally ran the fucking ball. We finally decided to run the damn ball.
Well, you know what? He was forced to run the football. Well, he was forced to it because he really doesn't have confidence in Tate. He still doesn't have confidence in Tate. He still doesn't have confidence.
Oh, no,
so he has to run the football.
But I put it. There's so many. In my opinion, and like I said, I'm a backseat couch coach, but I thought there was just so many questionable calls of like, why did you only rush the ball like 7 or 8 times in the first half? We know Louisville's giving up 200 yards a game in the rushing department. Why aren't you using this 3-headed monster that you have to take pressure off of? I knew Jordan Travis was smoking. He was smoking guys in the first, but you need to have a balanced attack to put that pressure so that the line doesn't, because the line was starting to break down there in the second quarter. I mean, Travis was starting to get hit more and more as we went on that second quarter. He was starting to slow down a bit, but you weren't running the ball. Why were you not running the ball in the second quarter consistently to take both time off the clock, but also to change the pace of the game? So it didn't, because I was almost expecting a pass every time Jordan went back. And it was just, and then like you said, when Tate came in, they were forced to have to run the ball. And it worked because they couldn't defend it. And then once they were running the ball, then you were able to set up those slant passes for Tate, he was able to hit with because he does have talent. No one says that he doesn't have talent, and he showed it. He hit the slant.
He just doesn't have the confidence and the game experience.
And hope maybe this will do it for him because man, the kid hit some passes there. He hit John. You know what he did? He went to the 6-7 target. He went to the best player on the team. He went to that well, and they couldn't stop it. So whether that was the coach on him to do that, or he said, I'm going to go down. I'm going to go down throwing to the tallest guy on the field, and it worked. So
when he threw the ball into the end zone to Wilson,
that was a great.
He threw that fade.
It was a great fade,
right where the ball had to be, into the corner, in the back corner of the end zone. That's where the quarterback throws the ball. He laid it up there. Johnny Wilson runs to that area and jumps up and does make the catch.
It was amazing.
I mean, so why we're still on Tate? We're not like a lot of people. I don't want to be on a roller coaster ride with this team or any one player. I want to see the production like we do in any business in America. It's about numbers and production and performance.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And we're not going to be on this bandwagon. Tate is now everybody's Tate's the man. Tate's the man. And then next week, if he goes in against Boston College and throws 3 picks, then they got to get him out of there.
Yeah.
I don't want to say that. That's not. We haven't been saying that. What we have been saying, or I have been saying, is if Travis goes down, and he will go down, and we both knew he would go down. The question is, who is going to take over and run this offense? Well, tonight, Tate, when he threw that pass into Wilson brought it in, and they showed Tate on the sidelines. He had a different look in his eyes. He had a different look on his face and his demeanor, like, I've arrived.
Yeah.
I can play this damn game now if I let the game come to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he looked like, if nothing else, he gained a hell of a lot of confidence tonight. All right.
Yeah.
So this is the first game I've seen him on the sidelines after playing that he looked calm and confident as hell. And we salute you, Tate.
Yeah.
We salute you. And I know you got a game ball there tonight. And I hope they let you break one of the slabs.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. Like you said, I hope this builds his confidence. Like you said, he closed out the win. He brought the team back from what I thought was dead at halftime, and he brought them back. He drove the offense. He made the right plays, and he deserves every bit of that game ball along with Johnny Wilson, because those two guys, along with the running game, they carried it. But he made the right plays. He made the right throws. That fade pass, like you said, was amazing. John, like we haven't had that ability in a while.
No.
Like John, and going to Johnny, that guy is the real. I think that game tape tonight got him drafted. He was cooking guys. I don't think he maybe dropped one pass tonight. The guy was unstoppable on the field.
I didn't see him drop any passes.
That's maybe I missed one. Like I said, we're doing off the cuff, but the guy was a monster.
I think the NFL scouts had heard of him, and now they got to look at him, and they're going to continue to watch film on him. There's no doubt, because a guy who's 6'7", what is he, 230, 240,
and has speed
and can run, he is a weapon.
He's like Mike Evans, like the commentator said. He does remind you a little bit of Mike Evans.
He would get drafted based on physicality alone
and development.
But now it's a matter of where he gets drafted. But he's got another. What is he? How many more years he had? Two years.
He's got left? 2 or 3 more years of eligibility. Yeah.
If he continues to bring balls in at this rate, he'll go this year.
If he's eligible, I got to look.
If he's eligible, why would he risk? I think he is eligible. I think he will.
I didn't think he was, but we'll look that up. But like you said, if he's getting 80, 90 yards a game and a couple of times, like
he already surpassed everything he did at Arizona
I know,
State.
which is amazing. Which I do give the coaching staff for. They do have this ability to pick these guys out of the portal and make. You saw the kid.
They're doing a great job with that.
Saw the kid from South Carolina offensive line played really well tonight. He continues to play well on the offensive line, that patchwork line we have. Johnny Wilson played well tonight. Micah didn't have a big impact tonight, but Trey Benson had a couple of big ones towards the end of the game there.
The offensive line held up. They did a good job. They did good good enough.
And better in run in the running game than the passing game.
Right. Well, we had 100 and some yards in running. We had 199 yards rushing the football.
That's what I'm saying. I think in the run game they pass or run block really well. I think the pass blocking is a little,
and that allowed us to take a lot of time off the clock in the second half.
The end of the game,
to control the football, because going into that second half, somebody said, I don't know if it was on TV, whatever, they said, hey, Coach Norvell probably told the line, it's your game. We've got to control the football. We got to keep Malik Cunningham off the field, which makes sense. And we want to limit. We want to give Tate a chance. We don't want to have to come from behind and start throwing the ball all over the place. So from that aspect, the strategy worked. There were some play calling sequences, which we've already discussed. We'll discuss at our next show that Norvell. Now, let's get into the play sequence down at the goal line. Remember at the goal line? Should we pitch the ball? And then they bring in this trick play with Wyatt Rector, basically a quarterback sneak.
After they had just made big plays and big runs to get down there,
it's
then
basically
they abandoned
a quarterback sneak.
It was so bad.
And
as
then
a commentator
said,
why are you getting cute with it? I agreed with the commentator. Why are you getting cute with it down at the goal line again?
I think we did throw the ball.
It was the fade. It was the fade.
Tate, was that the fade?
That was the fade. That was the thing. You're on the goal line. You do these cute plays that get no yards, and then you're bailed out by a fade in the back of the end zone. Why don't you just give it to Benson and run the ball?
So that was kind of crazy. That was kind of crazy.
Comment. No, I don't see any updates so far on Travis.
You'll never hear any updates.
I think you will, because he's high profile. You're going to hear something. But
they say Norvell never likes to give out that type of stuff. What's he only give it out on certain guys?
I just think this will leak somehow because he's such a big.
Well, let's hope one of our media sideline friends that do have access will ask that question. They'll ask the question, and you know what the coach is going to say? Well, right now we're having it evaluated.
Yeah. So his left leg was in a boot. I haven't heard anything else on Verse either. So yeah,
Verse went out early. Verse went out pretty early in the game.
You were out. You lost Lovett, Cooper, Verse, and Jordan Travis tonight. Like
Bethune had an injury early, but he came back.
Thankfully.
I thought Bethune played well the whole game. He's got some speed too.
Deloach though, that man, he's gotten so much better. He looks strong. He looks fast. he plays sideline to sideline so well as a linebacker. And like I said on Wednesday's show, on those few spy plays they put him on, he was able to run down Cunningham and make the tackle.
I think his speed showed up.
Yeah.
Tonight, I think Deloach had a great game. I think defensive end McClendon had a really solid game.
McClendon did make some flashes.
I think
Gibbons got hurt too. Good comment there. I don't know stats on Gibbons. Gibbons got hurt towards the end there, so I don't know what his status is. Hopefully not serious, because we're really screwed then.
So that's probably one of the concerning things. We get the win, but there were a hell of a lot of injuries. And it's lucky. I don't want to say it's lucky, but I will say it's lucky we're playing BC and not Clemson next week. I mean, we're going to probably have to start some guys that aren't used to starting. And this is the opportunity.
Yeah.
This is your opportunity to step up and show what you can do. That's why you're on the damn team.
Yeah.
I say that to my own grandkids who play ball in different sports. Be prepared. If you're not on the field, be mentally prepared. See what's going on. You don't know when your opportunity's coming. So these guys have to step up. So that was some good stuff,
Yeah.
I mean,
And I think one of the big things, like you said, the defense, they gave up a lot of points tonight, but they had their shiny moments. They shut it down when it's concerning. The run defense is concerning, but I think you were missing Cooper, Lovett. You had some guys there.
Cooper, well, you were missing Lovett. Cooper was there.
No, I think Cooper got hurt too.
How early? I didn't see him go out.
That's what Twitter's saying, that he got hurt at some point. So like I said, I don't know.
Cooper, Robert Cooper is a lovable guy. He really is a lovable guy.
Yeah.
No, his main job is in the 4x4 box to hold the middle, to hold the center, tie up a couple of those guards if he can.
Yeah.
But the middle was getting ripped tonight,
which is surprising. But
the middle was getting shredded tonight. Now, you'd have to go back and look at all the film, but I saw him on a few plays. He out of that 4x4 box, he's not very effective.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I guess the last thing we have to talk about losing is, Jared Verse. That doesn't look good. Probably he looked upset about it. Up until that point, he hadn't really made an impact on the game. He had no sacks, but Malik's not a guy you're going to sack a whole bunch. Let's just be honest there. So it is going to be something that hurts you. Feel really bad for that kid. He's worked his butt off to get to this level, play a program like State. He was shining already. You hope it's not serious. We don't hope any of these injuries are serious on either side.
On either team.
Yeah, on either team. Like, I feel, hurting him, losing him is going to hurt this team, I think, significantly.
Well, yeah, because it hurts our pass rush.
Yeah, especially on the edge. Because like you said, we were getting burned up the middle. And now if we lose our edge rush, we could be in some trouble moving into the season as we go up against a lot. This ACC conference is so stacked with quarterback talent. It's going to be very, very tough sledding ahead. Very tough.
We're gonna see some teams that really do drop back and throw the ball down the field, and if we can't get to the quarterback, it's going to be a problem. Yeah. It's going to be a problem. Okay.
The one thing
now, it's not negativity, people. It's not negativity. It's just the truth. It's just the truth. Whether you like it or not, there's no sugar here. That's the truth. We're not getting on the bandwagon or off the bandwagon. We're looking at the facts. And if you think we're wrong, get on here and make a damn comment. Okay? Get on here and make a comment.
I think the one thing that made me think of you is that, you saw the big plays, the couple of big catches in the beginning by Cam McDonald. And then you saw the touchdown.
I saw the one miss that bounced.
Well, no, so that's what I was getting to.
Up in an INT.
That's what I was getting to. So you always ask, why don't we use the tight ends? Why don't we use the tight ends more? The ball hit him in the damn hand, and he wasn't even looking for it.
I don't know how it's like,
I did love the play call on the goal line.
I used to coach a little basketball back in my day as well as some football, and I used to tell players they cut. You know how you cut? You don't have the ball, but you're cutting as a basketball player. and players they'd be cutting, but never looking for the damn ball. When you cut, you've got to look for the damn ball.
I mean, Travis put it right on the money.
If you're a wide receiver and you're going into a route, you've got to look for the ball. You can't say, well, I'm the number 4 guy on this route. Well, shit. It may come your way.
If you trust your quarterback, it could come your way, right?
You can't take a play off.
Yeah, that was really disappointing. And I don't think the Titans got the ball after that because, I mean, other than
Daniels made a great catch.
That was a great
play. He
play.
made one in the end zone.
That was a great play call.
Catch.
That was a great play call in the end.
It was a great play call.
I loved that play call.
And we need to do more of that. We need to do more of that.
That was a great, play option there, and he was wide open in the back. That was a great play.
That was a great call
to start the game.
That was a great call.
Yeah. So, looking at the receiving, just to go back to the offense real quick as we're on it. Jordan Wilson obviously demolished 7 of 8 targets caught, 69 yards, his longest 2 touchdowns, 149. Played amazing. And then kind of drops off from there. Cam was second leading receiver, surprisingly, not Ontario. Whistling Pokey had 38. Malik McLean had a couple of big. He had that one big catch, but he had
that
touchdown.
Was a good catch.
Touchdown which is a great catch.
That was a good catch.
I'd love to see him getting involved and making touchdowns. But then Micah was basically. I thought they would get him more involved. I think they're trying to still figure out his role. I don't know what's kind of going on with him there. I think they're going to try to use him on these screens and these bubble screens, and they're kind of getting blown up here. LM, we are very glad they escaped as well. So that's what we're discussing here. But I wish they would get him more involved somehow on slant games somehow. But yeah, he was kind of non-existent in this game and didn't really get much on the punt return side either. Going on that with punt returns, I thought our special teams was pretty awful when you combine Fitzgerald. Some of the first punt was atrocious, where he basically hit it 20 yards and they got the field position.
That was just a shank.
How many times did Louisville start on our 50-yard line or greater tonight? And then I thought when the game went on in the second half, our punt coverage, our kick coverage got a lot better. We tackled them. We didn't let them get more than a couple of yards. No big punt return, stuff like that. So I thought it got better in terms of the coverage, but I thought special teams all around did not play great tonight.
I think the thing that I liked is the kickoffs were much improved.
I don't think they were trying to get cute with it this time. I thought they were like just putting.
They kicked it right in the middle. Yeah, right in the middle. Just kick the damn thing out of the end zone. Watch the NFL games on Sunday. Where do they kick it?
Yeah,
they kick it through the damn end zone.
But they don't have the 25-yard rule, I don't think.
I don't give a shit what they have. I don't care.
Yeah.
Listen, if you're a college kicker in the Power 5, you should be able to kick the damn thing out of the end zone.
Yeah.
If you can't, there's a problem. There's a problem.
I would agree.
Okay. So I thought the kickoffs were better. I thought that was good. They weren't going out of bounds and penalties and starting at the 40. You can't have that.
I think that was just last week. I think that was
they got cute.
Coaching staff asking them, to kick it towards the goal line, so they have to run it out and play the field position game, which obviously we're not.
Well, there's a thing called consistency in practice. So if you try to have the guy angle it out of 10 kicks and he gets 4 of them in there, then that you don't do that. I mean, there's a consistency about statistics. Statistics mean something. And now as we get into the first 2 games, they don't mean a lot. Now we're into game 3. Statistics start to add up on where, and you don't think other teams use statistical analysis in their game planning?
Well, you start to see trends after, you start to have enough data to see trends.
You have to have a good data sample. Statistics. Why do you think all this shit is collected? For guys like us?
For fun.
For fun. Every football operations, and I'm sure they do, should have statistical managers and get analysis, draw conclusions from what you're seeing to set your game plans.
Well,
period.
And why didn't they run the ball the first half? Well, and that is a good transition of why
you got to throw out Duquesne. You get nothing out of that. Those statistics mean nothing.
So that's why I almost tweeted that tonight. In the first, I was so triggered in the first half. Jordan Travis gets hurt, and I almost tweeted out, where's the three-headed monster? Why aren't you using, stuff like that? Because that's all we heard.
Because the three-headed monster came out of the Duquesne game.
Yeah, exactly. But that's where all these other sites were like, the three-headed monsters.
Yeah, well, I know. Well, that's all media.
And that's not me trying to hate on the players, because I do believe our running backs
are good. We're not hating on the players.
But we put this unneeded pressure
to
say they're going to average 100 yards per game, and then the three-headed monster, that's like not necessary.
That's all for us. But then we go into us to speak about.
But then we go into this game knowing that Louisville can't stop the run to save their ass, and then you don't use them in the first half. I was going crazy, like we're. But then in the second half, we finally, like you said, we were forced to. And I thought, once again, Ward had an amazing game. That guy is tough as nails. I hope he gets a shot the next level.
Benson had a couple of nights.
He broke a couple of nights. You saw him start get going towards
each back made their contribution.
Yeah, they did. Tell Philly had that tough catch in the first half,
and he got around the side there and ran one in. That was a very nice run.
So combined, they had over 200 yards. They're talented.
Well, here's the deal. You're exactly right. We both said it. Tonight was the time to pound the rock. Yeah. Pound the rock. Be good. Have the line. Pound them, and we had to in the end because Travis goes out of the game. Yeah. Next week against Boston College is another ground and pound game.
Yeah,
that's a ground and pound game. If you can't ground and pound it against BC, then you've got problems. Now we'll hear all week, well, this guy's out, the offensive line's beat up. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
Okay. You've got to have guys ready to go. If you're on a team on the way back and you're building, I'm tired of hearing, well, one guy goes out and the whole freaking thing changes. Well, we knew that about the quarterback. We knew that could possibly change, and there's some bumpy roads ahead now. But Travis, in my opinion, does not play next week.
He shouldn't.
You cannot put him into that game.
If he has any chance of coming back, you can't. Yeah, you can't play.
You can't. You've got to get him ready for Wake Forest. That's who you get him ready. You
may even take that loss. You may even just take the loss there, like, and play for the second half of the year. At Wake Forest, you may just say, hey, like.
Well, I think they'll try to get him ready for that game. But you have to have sufficient backups in the offensive line and the defensive line,
which they've got to
beat BC. If you can't do that, you've got big problems on.
And the way you're going to beat BC, like you said, is establishing the run first off. This has to be a run first offense, which then opens up passing lanes for Tate, because they're going to Louisville do. Louisville was. Did you see how many guys were in the box? They filled the box with guys just saying, run the ball on us, run the ball on us. And then he was finally able to stretch the field a couple of times. But you have to show that you can run against a stacked box before they're going to open up and start respecting receivers. Even late in the game, he had one-on-one coverage, and a couple of times he
did you see it? Yeah, I wrote it down.
He gave the ball. He had one-on-one coverage at the top, and he still handed it off. That's a young quarterback. He should have.
You know what though? But even for Tate, it could be you in there, KB, for all I care. If you've been in the system 2 or 3 years, and there was one particular play, even the announcers said, they had 8 or 9 guys in the box. They had man-to-man coverage, top and bottom.
Yeah,
and they should allow one of your quarterbacks to say, if you see that, then you signal out an audible that the guy runs a slant and you hit him. And Tate looked very comfortable throwing slants.
He did. He looked.
You can't allow that to sit out there like that. I think the one-on-one was on Johnny Wilson.
And it looked weird because the play took forever. It looked like he was trying to make an adjustment, but then he ended up just handing it off anyway, and he got stuffed. So
and the announcers even said it's disrespect to your quarterback, and it's disrespect to you as a coach to not have the confidence to have an audible that says, "Okay, you want to play that? Well, we'll play that."
Absolutely, So he's going to be forced to throw the ball. We know that, but I think if you can establish a run-first style offense now going forward, at least for the BC game, and then to Wake Forest, given injuries, that is going to allow to give Tate offense to say, okay, or confidence to say, okay, we got a run game going, keeps the defense off balance. If this defense knows that he's going to have to pass the ball every single time, it's going to throw him off. But we saw tonight he has the ability to make great plays. We saw that time. We didn't know that before. We do now. We have evidence of it. And I think that's going to have to change the ways that defenses strategize a bit. He can throw the ball, but also they know Johnny is a legit weapon now. So I think that's going to – it's not going to be as cupcake to strategize for us with Travis out. Before Travis being out, you'd be like, well, no, they don't really have anyone behind him, and they don't really have any receivers that we don't have to worry about. Now we do have some weapons you have to worry about. So it'll be interesting to see what happens.
I think they're gonna have to occupy Johnny with maybe a couple guys. A safety is gonna have to kind of slide his way a little bit to help out. You know what I mean? To go, who was that? What was that comment? I didn't even see it.
We have to step up BPC without Travis. Why have they been using Milton lately? Well, Milton's long gone. He's just a Twitter. He's long
gone.
Who
was that? LM. Milton's now doing NIL deals and NFT deals.
He's an NIL manager.
Yeah. God bless you.
He's also calling people haters on Twitter tonight. So
haters. I know. Okay, let's rally around the boys. Everybody. It's not about hate. It's not about. No, it's about analysis. Hate. It's our opinion. Everybody has a different opinion.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not. We're just breaking it down. That's what we do here in the media. That's why we're media personalities. Maybe we're not big ones on the national stage, but we got opinions. That's all we're trying to do. We love these kids. We know they're trying their best.
Yeah, exactly. That's
we know they're trying their best, but we're not going to say this is a great football team when it isn't.
No. And at the end of the day, we want Tate to succeed more than anybody else does. When that kid went out there was hitting these passes, it was like the greatest feeling in the world. Because, like you said, I wanted to be shut up.
That just doesn't have the experience.
Exactly. That it's not fair to players like him to throw him in there on the road, down 7 with basically a season on. It felt like the season on the line. Say, hey, guy, go do this.
Well, the season.
It felt like it was on the line. It felt like it was on the line.
This is a game. I said you have to win. You have to win this game.
And that's my point, though, too, is that I don't know if we win this game last season or the season before. 2 seasons ago, with stars going down like this, I don't think we win this game. There's a difference, and it sounds cliche and bullshit, but there's a mentality difference. I feel like in this team, they're not breaking.
They don't quit.
The defense, like you said, stepped up at the end and they made the play.
They made the play. They don't.
The offense
quit.
ran hard. The offensive line played hard. Johnny's making big catches.
Yeah.
They finished the game, and it's what's that progression they say? You go from losing big, then you lose small, then you win small, and you win big. There's that 4-part progression of how you develop a team. Right. And we're starting to win small again. Like we won, lost small last year. Now we're starting to win small, and it's starting to add up again. And there's a different mentality, and I honestly believe there's a culture change within this team, right? Guys who are celebrating after sacks, guys will grab them, get them back on the line, and say, let's get back into the next play. Let's focus.
The business-like approach. I didn't see any bullshit penalties of celebration.
You saw guys holding up on the line,
holding up guys.
Yeah,
I didn't see any stuff on the sidelines. I didn't see this craziness, which can cost you 15 yards and potentially a game.
Yeah.
That's a business-like attitude. We didn't say any of these games would be easy. We said all of them will be hard. They're all going to be a play or two that make the difference.
Absolutely.
And in the 2 wins that really mean anything this year so far, it's been 1 or 2 plays that have won these games. Yeah. All right. And there's some horror shows ahead that we're going to be in a battle for our lives. We're going to be in a battle for our lives. And these kids, it is a different attitude, KB.
Last year, you were 0-3 at this time last year.
Yeah, that's right. And they battled back. They started battling back. And the mentality has come. I will never say, I've always said, I think Coach Norvell and his staff, they work their asses off. I think they do. I think the kids work their asses off. But we're not a top 10 football team.
No, because the talent's not there. They're developing what they have.
We're playing up to our talent and over our talent at this point.
I agree.
But we can't make any mistakes. We don't have room for any errors.
Yeah.
And any errors. it has to be a business mentality.
Yeah.
That's a cliche, but
No,
I'm starting to see there's no quit. There's no quit.
Absolutely.
And the 2 wins that came on the edge, there was no quit.
Yes.
There was no quit. And that's what we take out of this game. There's no quit. And the other thing is next man up. We can't accept excuses. Now we're going to lose games. Well, we lost because of injury.
But you saw that tonight.
We've
Next man
talked
up. You
about
lost guys tonight, and people stepped up. And
You've got to step up.
Second half, you came out and you won the game. People stepped up. You saw, Maurice Smith stepped up when, the offensive lineman went. People are going out.
McClendon stepped up. I saw a lot out of McClendon on defensive end. I think he put some stuff on.
Jared Jackson, backup, stepped up. Like these guys all stepped
DJ
up.
Lundy made a couple of plays. I thought that were good. So there were guys in there making plays. And that's what it's going to take because there's no easy road this season. There's no easy road.
Yeah, we're not a great football team, but we are becoming. We're average to above it. We're getting there. We're average. 2 years ago,
leave those comments up. I don't even read them. You take them down too fast. What the hell are you doing? I'm sorry, I'm not a speed reader.
You got to work on your reading comprehension. Yeah. But I would agree with that. We're definitely not a great football team yet, but we are an average to above average, and that's where we need to be. This team will get better around the trenches, around the offensive, defensive line, and then work its way out. And we've seen both those sides get better tonight. The defensive line didn't look great, but the offensive line did show up great in spots.
And this was another opportunity on a Friday night premiere game. There's not
all eyes.
Like some other game on it. I don't even know what it was.
A lot of butts in the building for Louisville too.
But people got to see us again and got to see the attitude.
And you're seeing the offense. You're seeing the offense starting to come out. You're seeing different guys like. The offense, I think, is starting to show itself too, like the Norvell offense.
And let's remember, Jordan Travis is not going anywhere. He's here this year, and he's here next year. He's not going anywhere.
And he's looked so good when he's in, too. That's the difference. He has looked
But the question is, any guy can get hurt on any one play.
Yeah.
We know that. So you do have to have adequate backups at every position.
But it's hard at this level. It's hard at this level, too.
Well, I don't care how
I know quarterback, we know he could have gotten it, but it's hard to have talented backups at every position. I think I'm trying to say. You're not going to have 4-star,
that's part of
5-star talent.
No, it's part of coaching to develop guys. App State doesn't have a lot of these guys. They develop guys. Wake Forest has never had these types of guys, and they develop guys. Yeah. So we have to develop guys. You got to find the guys that want it. And sometimes those guys aren't the guys that always want the NIL deal to come. It's guys that have the grit. Who was it that there was a Nebraska fan who's so pissed off at his program? He goes, "We need guys on defense that hunt boars with knives, man. Those are the guys we need." And I got into it this week with a couple of Nebraska fans.
We don't need to go on with this.
No, we were flipping things back and forth, which I don't want to carry on with that.
We don't need to carry on this.
But that one Nebraska fan was true. He goes, "We need guys with grit. We need guys that can pound." And I think we're getting those guys. Yeah. But now it's time. Yeah. These guys have to step up.
I agree.
They have to step up, and it's not going to be perfect every time.
But yeah. Yeah,
the team won the game. We won the game.
That's all I meant.
And that's what counts.
That's what counts.
And I don't want any fan to ever suggest that anything. And we haven't had that on our program. We haven't had any people say, "Well, you guys are haters" or this. We're not. We're realists. And there's nobody out there that's been around and watched or listened to games about this program than me. If you're out there, then you should comment below, okay? Because I've been following this team since the 1960s, okay, listening to the first games on a transistor radio. So don't tell me that I don't have any comments, okay? Because I didn't just get on the damn bus.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, we want this team to succeed. It doesn't matter who's playing, we want everyone on the field.
We want to be successful.
We want them to be successful. That's all.
Of course we do. Of course we do. But we can't sit here and say everything is grand and it's a big party, because there isn't. And we're not the only football team in America that discusses stuff. We love these kids. We love these guys and what they're doing, what they bring to the community.
Yeah, I think we need to end it.
Next week, the stand should be filled.
Yeah, let's end it here. I think it's a great picture to end it on. Like this is what it's all about, right?
Jordan Travis, it is. I love that.
Jordan Travis stayed on the field. You know, he was probably emotionally dead at that point on crutches, but Tate, you know, with the game ball,
Tate's got a game ball wrapped up in his coat there.
Yeah,
for
that's
sure.
Great.
And this was Tate's coming out party.
This is what it's all about at college football. This is what
about. So what Norvell should do this week, he hands the ball to Tate. He tells him tomorrow, you're the guy for BC game. It's your offense. And we're going to design that you do the things we know you can do. And everybody else will do their job. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's it. Give him two progressions to look at, not 5 when he has to look downfield.
Yeah. Let's end on that. Let's end on that. This is what it's about tonight. Tate and the team.
Here's what it's about right here. Here's a salute to Jordan, to Tate, to the offensive line, to the running back, to the entire freaking team.
Johnny Wilson.
Johnny Wilson. Break that damn slab. You guys deserve it. It's a great win for the program, and we move closer up to the mountain. But there's some tough ledges ahead.
Yeah, they're not all going to end like this. They're not all going to end.
Well, we want it to all end like this.
They're not going to. No, you got to be real. Okay, let's move on. Let's just go. Cheers.
Salute.
Cheers, guys. All right. Well, thank you all again. Once again, final score is. I can't remember it. It's 35-31 Florida State. Florida State starts 3-0 for the first time, and God knows for when. Great start to the season. We got BC next week, which, will be a fight. But we can't wait to break it down. So we'll see you guys next Wednesday for a breakdown review show.
We'll see you
and
Wednesday.
Until then, we'll see you soon. Enjoy the weekend. Enjoy your Saturday. We don't have to worry. We don't have to have a tar attack on Saturday.
No, it's Friday, man. It's Friday.
There you go.
Hey, KB, have a good time at your wedding, man.
Yeah,
not your wedding, the other guy's wedding.
See y'all. Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.